This is Tony Poulos, and it's always a pleasure for me to catch up with John Stefanac, who is the president of Qualcomm Southeast Asia and Pacific. John, welcome again. I really want to talk to you about the progress we've seen in 3G networks. You know, it's been around for about 10 years now, and in the last 5 years or so, we've seen a massive boom in mobile broadband usage. So, what impact has that had on the existing 3G networks?
Well, you know, I think what we're getting to a stage now is we've got more people coming across onto 3G. I think the biggest impact that 3G has given us now is that we have untethered ourselves from our homes and our offices, and we're able to get information or get access to information wherever we are. So now there's more people who want to get access to that information and not be constrained by the fact that they have to be in a fixed location.
Do you think we can eke more out of the existing 3G networks, but is there still life in 3G?
Oh yeah, plenty. You know, you look at, we've had 2G networks here for more than 20 years, and you know, I still haven't seen a 2G network being shut down around the world. We've had networks, 3G networks now for a little over 10 years, around 10 years, and we're going to see 3G networks for some time to come. If you look at the 10 years that it's taken for 3G networks to be built, you know, and now look at the LTE or 4G networks that are being implemented, it's going to take some time for them also to be built. And you know, looking at it from a slightly different perspective, the LTE networks, the different bands, the different frequencies that different regions around the world have deployed for LTE, right? That's going to put some constraints on us in terms of roaming. So more often than not, as we travel, we're going to end up being roaming on 3G networks. So our reliance on 3G networks is going to stay for some time to come.
Are we going to see consistency in spectrum allocation for things like LTE eventually across international borders, or are we going to have this mishmash that we're seeing right now?
Yeah, I think we'll still see a mishmash for a little while to come. I think what we will see is frequency bands that are a little more popular than others. So we will get to a point where the industry is going to coalesce around 3 or 4 different frequency bands.
Well, that's true, but why is it we're obsessed as consumers with more speed? And is LTE really the answer moving forward?
You know, I think there is that obsession with the speed elements that LTE is able to deliver, but more importantly, and operators are not looking at it just in terms of speed. You know, giving those higher speeds actually gives us more capacity on the network, and it's a little bit like taking a single lane highway and making it a dual carriage, or even a 4-lane highway. That's what LTE does for us, and it puts more capacity on the network.
And what do you see coming after LTE? What's next?
Well, it's a good question. I think we've still got a long way to go in terms of extracting what we can out of the 3G networks. Long way, certainly a long way to go in terms of getting to the boundaries of what LTE is going to deliver to us. But you know, what we are focused on right now is ensuring that we're getting access to more spectrum to be able to enjoy the mobile broadband wherever we are. So spectrum is going to be a very important part of our lives in terms of an operator's lives, in terms of getting access to that. And you know, in addition to that, how the operator deploys their networks. You know, there's going to be a lot more cell sites out there. Cell sites are going to be smaller. We're going to have cell sites in our homes. We're going to have cell sites in street corners, in stadiums. So that's going to be the focus for the industry over the next several years.
So how important are the devices in making the networks more efficient?
Yeah, you know, I think there's all parts of the ecosystem that have to play a role in terms of delivering that end-to-end pleasurable experience for customers. The device is that central component. So a lot of things happen around the device in terms of its capabilities, and applications are going to be an important factor there in the way that they handle interaction with the network. You know, we've all got our Facebooks and Twitters and other social networking media, not to mention, you know, traditional applications like email all running out to the network asking whether you've got something for me. And we need better optimization around some of the applications to ensure that we're not constraining or putting too much pressure on the networks themselves.
And just one from left field, what impact will M2M traffic have on our existing network operations? And do you see telcos getting heavily into M2M?
Oh, absolutely. You know, if you look at the population today is around 7 billion people. And we have a little over 5 billion devices, mobile devices out there. But just think about that in terms of the machines. There are more than 50 billion machines out there. So very soon, we've already seen cars with embedded with 3G devices. We're getting more and more devices out there, cameras. Look, everyone's got a tablet these days, right? 3 years ago, we didn't see that, right? It's not a tablet, it's a Amazon Kindle, right? So we're going to start seeing more and more of those devices that traditionally did not have connection to the mobile broadband, now being connected.
It's all good news for Qualcomm.
I think it's all good news for everybody, everybody involved in whatever capacity in mobile broadband.
John, fantastic to catch up with you. Thanks for getting me up to speed on 3G, 4G and LTE yet again.
Always a pleasure, Tony. Thanks.